Have you ever wondered how many EPP shapes would fit on a piece of fabric? In this video, I'll show you how to figure that out no matter what shape you are using or what size your fabric is. A viewer recently posted this question about this topic on one of my videos, and it gave me the idea to make more of these types of videos. So this video is the first of a brand new series I'm starting on the channel in which I'll be answering your questions about EPP. Hello, and welcome to the MakerJayne channel. And if you're returning, welcome back. My name is Janie, and I've been doing EPP for over 6 years. I love it so much that I want to tell you everything there is to know about it. So if you have a question about EPP that you'd like me to answer in a video similar to this, put it in the comments below and I'll consider making a video about it. So today's question is, how many shapes will fit on a section of fabric? I'll be answering this question by showing you 2 different ways to figure this out, no matter what shape you're using or what size fabric you're using. Method number 1 is a little bit slower, it's less accurate, but it doesn't require any math. The second method is quick, super accurate, and will require some basic math skills. And so that brings me to the disclaimer for this video, is that we're going to be doing some math. Now, I have simplified it the best I can for the video, but I know that math can sometimes be confusing to understand, especially in this type of format. Also, I want to mention that even though the method that uses math is much quicker than the non-math method, in the video, it actually takes me a bit longer to explain because I'm trying to explain it step by step. So just keep in mind that once you know what the formula is, the math is going to go super quick and it'll be much quicker for you than it takes for me to explain in this video. So before we look at both methods, I do want to let you know that I have created a free EPP cutting guide that walks you through the exact steps I'm going to take in the video with very simple and clear instructions. There's also some extras like a fabric measurements cheat sheet, shape cutting diagrams for a few common shapes to help you learn how to arrange your shapes to maximize your fabric, and a special bonus that shows you how to calculate fabric requirements for an EPP quilt. The free guide will help simplify the math and make things super clear for you. You can go ahead and download it at the link in the video description. All right, let's dive right in. Let's go ahead and get into the longer non-math version first so that you can kind of see what I'm doing with the math. Because it's basically, we're doing the same exact thing, but one uses math and one is using space and geometry. What we need to do is we need to figure out how many hexagons fit on the length of our fabric. So this is the longest dimension of our fabric, 21.5. And we are basically placing out our shapes to figure out how many shapes will fit. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shapes. So I know that 8 will fit across the long dimension on my fabric. And if I want to figure out how many shapes will fit across the short dimension of my fabric, I can again just arrange my shapes along that short dimension, measuring between my shapes if I want to, but I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay, so that one doesn't fit. So if I wanted to try to squeeze in this last hexagon, I probably, could come back and tighten up these seam allowances. They look pretty even. I'm not going to do that. Roughly, I'm able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hexagons of this particular size out of the shorter dimension of my fat quarter. You can do this with any dimension fabric. I'm just using a fat quarter here because it fits on the table. This is basically all we need to do. We need to figure out how many fit along the long edge of our fabric and how many fit along the short edge of our fabric. We're going to take those 2 numbers and then we multiply them together to get the rest of what would fill out this space. So we have 7 here, and I think I said it was 8 on the long side, and so 7 times 8 is going to give us 56. So for this particular size shape, it's a 1-inch hexagon, I can get 56 hexagons out of this fat quarter. Now, let me show you how we would do that with math. So let's say you don't have all your templates, or you don't want to cut a whole bunch of templates and sit there and, place them all out on your fabric. You want to actually do a little bit of math and get to the answer much quicker. Let me show you how we're going to do that. The first thing that we need to do before we can determine how many shapes will fit on our fabric is we need to find out what the dimensions are of our fabric. So I have a fat quarter here, and I'm going to go ahead and measure this. You can do the same thing with any size fabric. It doesn't have to be a fat quarter. It could be a fabric scrap. It could be a half a yard. It could be a whole yard of fabric. You just want to know what the actual dimensions are. And so I'm just going to use the grid that I have here on my table, and I'm going to line this up on the grid to determine the size. So we're looking at about 22 inches. That does include the selvage, so you'll want to keep that in mind. And then that's the length, and then the width of this is, it's under 19 here and it's at 19 up here, so I'm just going to say 18 and a half for safe measure, because we do have a little bit of an edge that's not straight. Now that we know the size of our fabric and the exact dimensions of our fabric, the next step is to measure the shape that we want to work with. So we're going to do this for each shape that we want to figure this out for. If we're working on a project that just has a single shape, then all you have to do is measure the one shape. But if you're working with a project that has multiple shapes, you may want to do this for each of the shapes if you want to figure out how many of that particular shape will fit on whichever fabric you want to use for that shape. So I've got my shape here. This is a 1-inch hexagon that I'm demonstrating on. Everything I show you can be used for any shape. It doesn't matter what shape it is. It doesn't matter what size the shape is. So we need to figure out what the size of the shape is. And remember, when we're working with EPP, when we call a hexagon a 1-inch hexagon, that dimension, that 1 inch, is actually the length of one side. So that's not actually telling us what the overall dimensions of the shape are. That's why we need to measure our shapes, and we want to get that overall dimension, just like what we did for the fabric. We want to do the same thing for our shapes. So I've got my quilting ruler here, and I'm just going to set my shape onto my ruler, and I'm going to line it up at the edge. Right now I'm going to measure through the width of my hexagon. And it's looking like from point to opposite point, this hexagon is 2 inches wide. Okay. And height, I'm going to line up the top edge on just a solid line on my ruler. And then I'm going to look at the bottom edge and see where that lands. And it's looking like it's landing right at the 1 3/4 inch. Now, if you are using shapes that are not a standard size, like maybe you're using an odd dimension and you're coming up with, overall dimensions that might be difficult to actually see using a quilting ruler, feel free to grab just a regular drawing ruler or a sewing ruler that might show you more increments so that you can get a more accurate dimension measurement. So now that I have the dimensions of my shape, what I need to do next is I need to add some extra for seam allowance. And this is going to be based on what your preference is, what size seam allowance you prefer to use with your EPP. So if you like using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, then you're going to want to add a 1/4 inch to your measurement. If you like using 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, then you're going to want to add 3/8 of an inch. Now, for those of us who just kind of eyeball our seam allowance and we're not really exact with our seam allowances, that's totally fine too. You'll just want to pick a measurement of a seam allowance that's fairly close to what your default seam allowance would be. So if you're eyeballing it, maybe, you know, cut out a test one or trace out a test one, and then measure that to get an idea of what your seam allowance, you know, rough estimate is. Because we're going to use that seam allowance number to add the extra fabric around the shape, and that's going to help us determine how many shapes will actually fit into this fabric. So I'm going to use a 1/4 inch just for ease of math. And I'm just going to take a note. I'm just going to write that down, 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now, what we want to do is we want to actually add the seam allowance both to the width as well as the height. And because we have 2 sides that make up the height and we have 2 sides that make up the width, we're going to multiply this 1/4 inch seam allowance, or whatever your seam allowance is, by 2. So 1/4 inch times 2 is going to give us 1/2 of an inch. And so what we want to do now that we have our total seam allowance, we're going to add 1/2 inch to the width and 1/2 inch to the height of the size of our shape. So coming down, we've got 2, that was our width. 2 inches wide plus 1/2 inch brings us to 2.5 inches wide. And 1 3/4 plus 1/2 inch is going to make it 2 1/4. This dimension is the size of fabric, or the space, the amount of space that this shape plus seam allowance is going to take up on your fabric. And that is for one shape. What we can do then is we can take that information and we can use that mathematically to figure out how many of this shape plus seam allowance is going to actually fit on our fabric. Okay, so I went ahead and rewrote out these numbers so that they're in a little bit easier format to read and to refer to. So on this sheet, I've got my long dimension fabric on the left and my short dimension on the right. And for the shape plus the seam allowance, I did the same thing. I've got the long dimension on the left and the short dimension on the right, just so that it's more consistent. Okay, so earlier I showed you that I wanted to lay out my shapes with the short dimension going across this way along the short dimension of the fabric. Because I know that this is 2 1/4 inches wide, all I have to do is take this total dimension here and divide it by 2 1/4 inches wide. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. This total dimension here is 18 1/2. And I'm going to divide that by 2 1/4. And that's going to give me 8.22. So this is actually telling me that I can get 8 shapes when they are butted right up, you know, the seam allowance edge to seam allowance edge. I could have actually fit that 8th hexagon onto this short strip of fabric. I had said 7 in my previous example because I didn't measure exactly, but the other cool thing about using math is it's going to be more accurate and it's going to tell you actually what will fit on your fabric. So it's going to be super accurate if you, again, like I said, are trying to get as much out of your fabric as possible. The math method is definitely the way to go. Now, I want to point out that I did get an uneven fraction here. And so I'm actually rounding down to the nearest whole number. So even though it says 8.22222, etc., I'm rounding down to 8 because we're working with whole shapes here, right? Okay. So now that we know how many shapes will fit along the short dimension, now we're going to do the same exact thing for our long dimension. And again, I'm having my shape arranged so that the long dimensions of my shape plus seam allowance are going parallel to that long edge of the fabric. And so what I can do for this long edge is I'll take that total dimension of the long edge of fabric, which is 21.5, and I'm going to divide that by the long dimension of my shape plus my seam allowance, which is 2.5, and I will get my measurement there. Now, again, I'm ending up with a fraction, which is fine. I'm just going to round down to the nearest whole number, which is 8 in this case. So using math and a calculator, I'm actually able to get a little bit more shapes out of this fabric than if I had done it just by eye and placing my shapes out. How many shapes can we get? Well, we've got our short dimension, just like we did when we laid the shapes out, and we've got our long dimension. Now what we need to do is take these two numbers and multiply them together. So 8 times 8 is 64. So we can actually get 64 1-inch hexagons that have a 1/4-inch seam allowance added around them, added around each one. We can get 64 of these out of this fat quarter. This is super helpful because sometimes fat quarters don't have the same measurements, or sometimes you might be working with different cuts of fabric. Like maybe you want to use fat quarters for your hexagons, but maybe you've got some diamonds that are part of the pattern and you want to use a completely different fabric and it's a different size, a different cut, etc. That's why, remember, in step 1, you want to measure your fabrics first. Once you've got your dimensions of your fabric, then you can easily do the math and it's no problem at all. One thing I will quickly mention, and I hadn't thought of this until just now, you might be working with a cut of fabric that maybe has a chunk cut out of it. Okay, so let's pretend that if I fold this over and it's making an actual triangle, let's pretend that this is a square, let me just do this, that is missing from the fabric. So we've only got this section and then this section of this blue fabric. So what would you do if your fabric looked like that? Well, what I would do is I would divide this up hypothetically. I wouldn't actually cut it, but in my mind, I would hypothetically divide it up, and you can choose which way you want to do that. You can either divide it this way so that this piece would be a separate measurement, a separate dimension, and then this smaller piece would be a separate dimension. You do your math, your equation for both as if they were separate pieces of fabric, but because they are one piece of fabric, once you have your numbers for both pieces, then you would just add those numbers together and that would give you the total without even cutting into your fabric. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, if you have any questions about anything I cover, I know this video is pretty advanced and it's kind of technical. But if you have any questions, do drop them in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them and do the best I can to clarify everything that's being discussed. And that is how you figure out how many shapes will fit on a cut of fabric. If you want to know more about this topic or have a specific question about anything that I covered in this video, let me know in the comments below. You can also get everything I discussed in this video and more in a readable, downloadable format in my free EPP cutting guide at the link in the description. And if you have a question about anything relating to EPP that you'd like me to answer in a future video here on my channel, be sure to put that in the comments as well. I'm looking forward to making more Q&A videos like this one for you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up so that I know that you liked it and that you want me to make more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, happy stitching.